Hi, April. Very good to see you. And as you know, April is Financial Literacy Month. So we are covering a lot of very important topics. Today, we're talking about the importance of creating an income plan. This is key for retirees, pre retirees. So let's just walk through it. Social Security, you can start collecting that at 62. You get Medicare at 65. You have to start taking your RMDs at 72 or pay a penalty. But what goes into creating an income plan and why is it so important?
Great question, Erin. Thanks for being with me today. That picture is going to look a little bit different for everybody. But at the end of the day, typically speaking, there are a few primary sources that we can really break down retirement income into. Social Security for many people is a big component of that. It is a source of guaranteed income. Historically, it is a source of increasing income to help with the cost of living adjustments that are naturally going to take place over time. And then, of course, there's an element of your own savings, your retirement savings that goes into this. And that has gotten to be a much larger burden in recent years, particularly for baby boomers, because that portion of the chart that we have there for the other guaranteed income source of pensions has become less and less common for many people who are retiring today. And if you look at the statistics, what you'll find is that the burden has really shifted from the employer to the employee. So what I mean by that is it used to be very commonplace for people to have a pension, to have that pension, some Social Security income, retire from their company after 40 years with a gold watch and guaranteed lifetime income. But it's just not what we're seeing anymore. It's not how things are designed. And instead, what we're seeing is that burden shifting to the savings that the employee has to determine what they're going to need for income and to really do some very advanced planning at a pretty young age, much before retirement age, to make sure that that time value of money is there and that they're going to be able to have adequate savings to really, in essence, create their own pension income.
Right. And that's why this is key to Financial Literacy Month. It's kind of like things we wish we'd known, or I wish I'd known when I was 20. Exactly. Also, income is so important when you are in retirement because it's going to determine your tax rate. So, are there any tax-free sources of income that we can create?
There certainly are. And that's a really good question that you ask, Erin. I wish that was a question that people really started thinking about a lot earlier than they do, because often what I find is that people just kind of, when they start thinking about retirement, they focus on what the number is that they need in order to retire. There was an old commercial about that. Everybody's walking around with a big old number on their shoulder, and that number is different for everybody. And you kind of have to back into that number because you have to know what your income need is going to be, at least within a good margin, in order to live the lifestyle that you're going to want to live in retirement. And then another caveat that a lot of times people don't think of is that if you've saved everything in qualified accounts, so in retirement accounts like IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, 457s, then all of your retirement income is going to be taxed in some form, including for most people, at least a portion of their Social Security income that they have coming in. So we really have to focus not only on those other bigger numbers, but on the net number. And we have to know within a realistic margin what income taxes we have to assume during that retirement period. So as far as those options go, really depends on your time horizon, on your earnings, because there are a lot of different options that are out there. The most common one that we probably hear people talk about and ask questions about is the Roth IRA. And even if you're not able to make contributions to a Roth, you can still look at Roth conversions in later years to help you keep that overall income tax burden down. But of course, there are pros and cons to each of those strategies. So we really encourage our clients to make sure they're not only diversified from an investment standpoint, but from an income tax standpoint as well.
Right. And this is probably the right time for me to remind everybody who's watching that I did do a video with Abby on the difference between a traditional and a Roth. So we are creating this wonderful library for all your clients and everybody else who's watching. But April, if somebody else has questions for you and would like to reach out to you, what's the best way to find you?
You can call either one of our offices at any time. And if it's more convenient for you, you can also visit with us on theretirementfamily.com, make a website submission there, and we will get in touch with you right away to see how we might be able to help.
Very easy and very important. April, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Erin.